Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing Comic Uno's Best Comics of the Week, and this is the show where I review all the comics I've read this week in one show. We go least favorite to best pick of the week and everything in between. And before I get started, at the end of the video, we talk about the viewer's pick of the week. So in the comments below, let me know your pick of the week for a chance to be featured on the episode. Also, be sure to give this video a like for a chance for more people to see this show. Now, let's jump into this week's books. Actually, a pretty average sized haul. I feel like this whole month, because of the 5th Wednesday, we have a little bit more room to breathe with our comic book haul. Now, number 11 for me is its favorite slot, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 7. This is just an action issue, and what's hard about an action issue with John Romita Jr.'s artwork, it's hard to enjoy. If it was splendid artwork, this would have been a little bit of an easier issue to get along with, but for me, I'm not a huge John Romita Jr. fan. I don't really feel like he fits the vibe of this book very well, so that was hard, and the new villain was kind of boring. He's like a D&D style villain, and that's all you kind of get from this issue. So overall, giving that 1.5 stars. I just didn't get a lot. So that is number 11. Moving on to number 10, which is Power Rangers Prime, issue 8. This issue, we get a little bit more of the mythos stuff, but I really want more character-driven issues to get to know these characters. Because it's not Mighty Morphin, I just don't know these characters as well. So I want it to be a little bit more character-driven than it is. So I just think they need to balance that character and mythos a little better. I did like the cliffhanger a lot with this mysterious Green Ranger, so I'm excited about that. But the sci-fi element is just not as much for me. But I love the Power Rangers, and I want to see this one through, and I want to see where the series goes. So giving that 2.5 stars, and that is number 10. Moving on to number 9, which is Bring on the Bad Guys, Green Goblin, issue 1. I have not read any of the other Bring on the Bad Guys. I think there's like one before this, and there's gonna be a lot more after this. It's a connective series, which I didn't know. And Marvel tends to do that a lot with their like annuals, and I don't quite understand why. Why not just make it a mini-series then? Or make it like an anthology series of some sort? Just naming this, it makes it hard to kind of follow every issue and know what an issue 1 is and what it's not. And for me, I thought this was going to connect more to the Amazing Spider-Man and the stuff Norman's been going through, and it doesn't really. It's more of his early days and just seeing a version of his story. And it was an okay story. It's about him killing someone and sacrificing this person because of his son, and I thought that was interesting enough, but it's also a side of Green Goblin that I've seen before, so it just was a bit forgettable for me. So overall, giving that one 3 stars, and that is number 9. Moving on to number 8, which is Captain America, issue 1. The only reason I picked this up was because Chip Zdarsky is on it. I like his writing, but I don't love Captain America. I've never really been able to get any of his series. I don't think I've read through much of his series, and this is the same thing here. I'm sure it's a good Captain America series, but I just couldn't connect to it. It was more about his military background, and I like the art, but it just didn't hook me enough. It was fine, but it wasn't for me. So giving that one 3 stars, and that is number 8. Moving on to number 7, which is Birds of Prey, issue 23. I like the last issue a lot more as we get that cliffhanger that Barbara is maybe dead. And I feel like they resolved that pretty quickly here. Kind of wish we had an issue or two where we're like, okay, what's going on with Barbara? And that was the more interesting aspect for me than the Big Barda stuff. So I do think that was more rushed, like I mentioned, but I like the artwork a lot. I really, really like the art style, and I like the first half of this issue when they were dealing with the Barbara stuff. I just think they could have injected more emotion between Dinah and Barbara and just kind of brought a little bit more of their dynamic, which I really liked from that last issue. So giving that 3 stars, and that is number 7. Moving on to number 6, the topic of the video, Hellfire Vigil. X-Men. This is like the 10th one they've done in this. No, they've been doing this since Krakoa, so I'm guessing it's like been 5 years of the Hellfire Gala. And what I liked about this issue is that it connects all the X-Men. Like every creative team wrote like 5 pages of it, and it was cool to see that this universe is still together. But I also dislike that, right? There's not much in this issue besides like, look where we're up to with the X-Men. Here's a sample book to maybe get you into a series you're not reading right now, or if you already like a series, you're like, there's my favorite. But does it add too much to the X-Men? I think the most it adds is the mourning aspect of Krakoa. I thought that was interesting. I thought the artwork could have been stronger. I think the thing that I like about the Hellfire Gala is the clothes, right? That's what we're all reading it for, and I just felt like it was a little muddy to showcase those great gala appearances. So the question is the Hellfire Gala stale? Yeah, I'll say every single time it comes out, I still pick it up because I'm an X-Men fan. I want to see if anything new is happening, but I never get excited for it like that first 1 and 2 installments of Hellfire Gala. Now it's just like, oh, they're doing this every year. Why not? So I do think they need to, do something new with it, or at least have some bigger reveals to make these a little bit more exciting. So that's number 6 for me, and that is 3 stars. Moving on to number 5, which is Wolverines and Deadpools issue 1. If you've been reading the Deadpool series, it's a continuation of that. I do feel like that it takes a little while to set up, but I enjoyed the dynamic between Deadpool, the family, and Wolverine, the family. I actually think that's what makes this a little different, is that you get Laura, you get Deadpool's daughter, and you're getting a different series than you normally would with Wolverine and Deadpool that we've seen, obviously, now a billion times because of the movie and setting that up. So I like that. I don't know about the overall arc yet, but I enjoy their interactions and the promise of this series. So giving that 3.5 stars, and that is number 5. Moving on to number 4, which is All New Venom, issue 8. This is a book you're either gonna like or hate. I like it. I think if you take away the absurdity of the book, like, you can have fun with it, and that's what I like about it. It's just a very absurd, fun book where you get to see Venom as a submarine. Why not? And the adventure is kind of fun. I like all these people that shouldn't be mixing together. You got Dylan, who finds out that Venom's a she. You got Dr. Octopus. There's a lot of fun elements, and I like the bright and shiny artwork as well that I think fits for this kind of comedic book. So like I said, if you don't take this one too seriously, I think it's actually a pretty fun series. So giving that 3.5 stars, and that is number 4. Moving on to number 3, which is Absolute Green Lantern issue 4. We get a little bit more information about Abin Sur. It's a little bit more of a slower issue because it is more just talking about, like, okay, why is this dome around us? What's the power of Abin Sur and the Green Lanterns? You get a little bit of Evil Hal, but there's not much else in this issue. But I do think that's enough to kind of delve into the mythology of Absolute Green Lantern, hopefully set up some pieces to bigger issues as possibly these characters return, because Abin Sur pretty much confirms that the people you thought died didn't die, even though you probably knew that already. And the artwork is really good. I like the anime style for this one. So giving that 3.5 stars, and that is number 3. Moving on to number 2, which is Batgirl issue 9. Honestly, I really like the ending of this book. I wasn't sure about the Lady Shiva continuation because I'm just like, I just want to see Cassandra. But as Cassandra's looking for this person, she finds out she has a brother and is related to Bronze Tiger, and now someone's hunting everyone that's related to Lady Shiva. So I thought that was really interesting, and it brought a new life to this series, and I like the artwork a lot for this one. So I think this one's bringing some potential to Batgirl again. So giving that one 3.5 stars, and that is number 2. Moving on to number 1, which is Spider-Gwen the Ghost Spider, issue 15, the last issue. And I like this issue because it retcons a lot. I haven't loved the idea that Gwen's in the 616. I don't think most people have, but Marvel has decided that's the thing they're gonna do. A lot of people didn't love that Gwen had the symbiote, and that's been for years that she's had the symbiote. So now they retcon that because of this Cosmic Cube idea where she now just has her regular spider powers and a new outfit. But what I really liked was now her father's in this universe. So I'm like, okay, someone to talk to, because that's always been my biggest problems, that they keep having these new characters as supporting characters, but we already like those old ones. So I like the idea that she has to find a new band, but now her dad's around, and that brings a whole element that was very missing from that other series. So I like that, and I liked a lot of the inner monologue in this issue too about what makes a hero, what makes a villain, and I just think Stephanie Phillips really gets this character and does the impossible with the 616 situation. It makes it really fun for Spider-Gwen and makes you kind of believe that she belongs in the 616. So I had a good time with this one. It makes me excited to read that next volume, which is already gonna be next month. So giving that 4 stars. Also, I thought it was a really smart idea that they had a preview for the next volume, because I was like, oh, I kind of wish I knew what was gonna happen in the next series, and that preview does a good job of that. So again, giving that one 4 stars. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite book was, and last week's pick of the week was Ultimate Spider-Man, and here are some comments about that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and I'll see you guys in the next one.